Billy Luna.
Once again, these people all criticize Skinny Joey Merlino, but what they're doing is they're riding his coattails for any semblance of relevance and views. The dinosaur of mob reporters in New York, Jerry Capisci, reported that the New York bosses have benched Skinny Joey Merlino, the alleged boss of the Philly Cosa Nostra family. So then the YouTube mob Rataverse and Dorkaverse sprung into action and once again rode the coattails of the skinny one for views. Okay, listen, this is off the top of my head. I'm being driven by a lovely lady in a car in Boston. And I decided that I just needed to drop a quick video about this latest nonsense that's being peddled by know-nothing so-called journalist mob experts.
Please subscribe to the Billy Luna channel and like the video. Thank you.
So basically, Jerry Capisci, he's like the old dinosaur cat in New York. And let me first explain something to you. I'm going to get into all of this, and I'm going to explain how this is all BS, okay? But let me just first tell you, you know, everybody who listens to this Mobtube, this ever dwindling kind of genre, you guys love stories of true crime. You love stories of Cosa Nostra, this, that, the other. You got to understand, this genre is rife with inaccuracies. Most of the things that they consider to be facts were provided by rats, informants, cooperators, or basically people have low-level connections in law enforcement agencies, such as the FBI. And you got to understand that just because a rat says something, be it behind closed doors or an open court or whatever, it doesn't make it so. So, you know, I know you love Cosa Nostra history, but do you care if something is true or not? Because these so-called experts, they know nothing. They constantly make mistakes. So basically, Jerry Capisci drops his weekly, gangland news thing, and he says his sources tell him that Skinny Joey Merlino is benched by, basically the powers that be in the, Gambino family in New York and the West Side, or the Genovese family. And it's so funny to me when I hear the mob Dorkaverse refer to like the Genovese family as West Side, because these guys that you're listening to, okay, they're fakes. They're nobodies. They're just like these guys who just make shit up. They basically say things that are, told to them by whoever. It's inaccurate. I can't even tell you how I just listen to this constantly. And not only do I, listen to it and understand it to be inaccurate, I talk to the people they're talking about often, and they tell me, they laugh and they say this stuff is it's so funny how they make this up and just go with it. Because, you have these people feeding them that are informants or they're wannabes. They're basically just nobodies who know nothing, and they're just making stuff up. I mean, this goes for even like the most respected of books that are written about Cosa Nostra. They're all rife with inaccuracies. And, years later, we discover this. But of course, the dwindling Mobtube, Dorkaverse, Rataverse needs to cling on to anything for content. So Jerry Capisci, chirps all this information, and then all of the Dorkaverse lights up, and they immediately drop shows. And this is fact, because once again, these people all criticize Skinny Joey Merlino, but what they're doing is they're riding his coattails for any semblance of relevance and views. Don't patronize these people if you care about the facts. Now, if you think that, these people in the mob Dorkaverse, if you think that they're great writers and you respect them as writers in terms of writers of fiction, okay, well then, check them out. That they're not great writers, okay? So let me give you an example. A great writer of crime or mob fiction is a man named Mario Puzo. He wrote a book called The Godfather. That book is a masterpiece. It's incredible. He's a wordsmith. Reading that book is like peeling the layers of an onion. It's incredible. That is what we call good mob fiction, okay? The Dorkaverse that you see here on YouTube, they're not wordsmiths. They're not writers of good mob fiction. They're peddlers of not well-crafted lies. And it's like, don't waste your time with this. And another thing with these guys, not to be superficial, but I'm in a car right now and an Eagles hat on and rocking around Boston. Okay. So I've got my camera turned off. All right. These dudes, turn your camera off, dogs. Turn off your camera, put on your avatar. We don't need to see your ridiculous faces, okay? And it's just funny to me that they just will take anything to generate content. So the bottom line is, don't listen to any of this garbage. I actually do have real sources and I do talk to real people. I don't quote it, okay? Because things are told to me in confidence, but the real people laugh. So just remember this when you're listening to their, breaking news bulletins, and that they just want to pop their ridiculous faces on camera and go like blah 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 blah. It's all BS. It's like a Dorkaverse and a Rataverse. Just to clarify, the mob Rataverse, of course, we know. I'm not. But also, another thing I don't do is I don't mention the names. I know a lot of people do. I know Skinny does. I don't like to mention the names of the mob Dorkaverse because I feel like when you mention someone's name, you are promoting them. You're just basically putting money in their pocket. And I think that these people are kind of incompetent and I don't want to really promote them. So therefore, I won't mention their names. But you all know, one thing about Mobtube is that the audience is pretty intelligent. And you all understand who I'm talking about. I don't need to say the names. You can go look at my thumbnail and look at the clues. But I'm sure all of you know. And please, you know what? Go in the comments for fun and call these people out. I won't do it on video because I don't want to send action their way because they're just full of BS, So I won't say the names of the mob Dorkaverse, but you all know them. And you know what? Go in the comments and list them for fun, okay? I will say the names of the mob Rataverse, of course, we know. The Don of the mob rats, the King Rat, Sammy the Bull, a complete horrible individual who's, killed many, many people, more than Jeffrey Dahmer, killed a 16-year-old child. And then you have Michael Franzese, the supposedly born-again Christian who, loves to yuck it up with Sammy and talk about how he's a born-again Christian. And then also he loves to go on with Andrew Tate. He's been brought up on so many charges. Some of them are being with a minor. Some of them are trafficking. And that's what a good Christian man does, right, Michael? A good Christian man sits down with a person who's killed all these people and kids, and then a guy who's an trafficker. He's been with minors and all this other crazy stuff. That's what a good Christian does, right, Michael? And that's the funny hypocrisy. That's so Machiavellian. Machiavelli, of course, a lot of these guys read Machiavelli, and Machiavelli, what he loved to when someone has the most divine of appearances, but is completely devious and evil beneath the surface. And I think that's a lot of times these jailhouse people who find God. Now Sammy the Bull's been baptized, and this is what I say. That's fine, okay? Sammy, Michael, I believe in, second chances and forgiveness. But if you guys are truly Christians, okay, why don't you, Sammy, reach out to Joy Faraci and Alan Kaiser's family, and as a Christian say, I did wrong. I killed this child. Can I ask for your forgiveness? Can I talk about that? Instead, all they want to do is enrich themselves. It's a new scam. They flipped sides. They're no longer in the mob. They work for the government, and now they're on just some new scam. And guess who's putting all the money in their pockets? Their viewers. So don't go to the Rataverse. Don't go to the Dorkaverse. And then, of course, there's Dom Sakali. There's Bobby Luisi, another guy who found God. That's a new thing. They all find God. Some come sooner, some come later. But I just say, if you guys are for real, fine, do it. But if you're gonna talk the talk, walk the walk, and they don't do that. I mean, I'm not even gonna go on the list. There's such low-level people. It's just such a BS genre, okay? And I know all of you love these stories. You love the mob. Just seek out the truth and don't jump on the bandwagon. As soon as Jerry Capisci drops this information, everybody just starts chirping in the Dorkaverse. It's kind of ridiculous to me. And you know what? The real people that are involved in all this, behind closed doors, we're drinking scotch and laughing half the time. And it's like, oh, look what this guy said. We pull it up and we laugh. We laugh at you because that's what it is. It's just laughable nonsense. Don't buy it. Don't patronize it. Okay. Patronize the stand-up guys, okay? If you do truly love this thing or the stories from this, modern criminal mythology, well, then go for the real stuff. It's better. You're going to like it more. The truth is stranger than fiction, especially when the fiction is being spun by untalented dorks who can't really write and they get facts wrong. So come on, people, you deserve better. You know you do. Let me know what you think about all this in the comments. Go ahead and drop all the names. You all know. You're smart. You know exactly who I'm talking about. Appreciate you all. Ciao.
Billy Luna.
Please subscribe to the Billy Luna channel and like the video. Thank you.